Yeah, my parents were not supportive of the DJ route. They were not.
And how did you get out of them? How did you get out of their, stink eye?
I just stopped asking for money. I relied completely on my own money-making abilities. I was broke for the first 5 years of my career. And then eventually, it happened. But I also know that, I'm coming from a place of, privilege. Now, I knew I had a fallback. I knew if this thing fell through, I had the family business to do. I could still reach out to them if I was super gipit na talaga.
How far from your teenage dream job are you?
Oh, wow. I'm living it.
This cannot be. This is what you wanted?
Like more the NBA part of my career. Let's start with what did you want to do as a child? I mean, a child, it's always same doctor, all that crap. Ako iba, sobrang iba. I wanted to be the first female PBA coach.
So, still basketball.
Di ba na ako marunong maglaro? Alam mo, kapal talaga ng mukha ko. And then eventually, it became to be like Summer Sanders, inside stuff. Ganun.
Yeah. And then you got into radio, which is close to your teenage dream job.
Yeah.
And then now that you write, even though you message me and you go, oh my God,
it's so hard.
I have no more words. I have no more words. I can't talk about basketball hard. One more day.
It's hard work, it is, but it's so rewarding. And even before I started working on NBA on Fire, I did so many NBA related things. Like I hosted things like the Republica Wrap Up, NBA Stream Squad. They sent me to watch the China games, and these were things I never thought would happen to me.
Okay, so that's how many people out there get to do that though? How many of you guys have a teenage dream job, and as you are driving on your way to work right now, you're doing the job that you have always dreamt about?
Ryan, is this your dream?
Please don't say that this is your dream job as well.
No, but I would say I'm pretty close. My dream job. Well, okay, fine. If it's grade school dream job, I'm pretty far because I wanted to be a WWE wrestler. But high school, I wanted to be a musician. I wanted to do music. So I think this is pretty close.
Do you play any instruments?
Yeah, why, you sing? Do anything? Do you do anything close to being a musician?
I mean, I play music, right? We play music on the radio. And
that's not
That's a stretch, Ryan.
Okay.
Not it.
But then when I get to interview artists and we talk about music and we get to talk about all these like their influences and the nuances in their music, and I can actually say things because it's not that, I mean, I didn't go through what they went through, but to kind of follow my dream in high school, there are things that I pick up on.
Do you sing?
I think that.
Do you sing? Well?
Do I sing? I don't sing amazingly, but I think I'm okay at karaoke.
So parang Chainsmoker. You wanted a Chainsmoker's career.
You're taking voice lessons, aren't you, Ryan?
You play any instruments?
Yeah, I play guitar, a little piano, bass.
Ang hirap aminin yan, no? When you're in a show with like a J. Kent. So parang...
Oh yeah, definitely. No.
Okay, you guys are pretty close to what you want to dream.
And kasi growing up, like my dad kasi has his own business, right? So he owns and produces TV shows. And every day he'd wake up at 10. And I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So I knew I couldn't do an office job. Kaya lang, look at me now, waking up at 5. Shit.
Yes, right. For something far less than a TV show.
But I agree, Susie. Same with me. Well, my dad was a basketball player. So in my head, I was always like, I can be whatever I want to be. Like, I don't have, like, I can aim really, really high. Because he can't tell me, like, you can't, follow your dreams because he got his dream. So why can't I get mine?
Right. I mean, professional athlete is 1% of the 1%. Okay, so when your dad is a professional basketball player, yes, that's a really good way to that's really a good way to put it, no, Ryan? That when your father is that, then the sky's the limit because he's the 1% of the 1%.
Yeah.
Then you get stuck here in Bacolod while doing a radio show and realize.
What percent of the percent are we?
Oh, we're up there. If for our industry, I mean, we're fine. The 1% of the 1%. I would say so. Okay. Maybe even rarer than an MVP, say, professional athlete. No, really, because it's so hard to sustain this.
Maybe you are 1% of the 1%. We're not quite there.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Thank you for being honest.
Guys, how far? Well, but this is not what I wanted to be. Ever. Once. Never once
What
at
did you
all.
want to be?
Philippine senator.
Totoo?
Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted to be. Wanted to be a lawmaker.
Wow.
It's not too late.
No, there's no lawbreaker. Shit kayo.
I would vote for you.
Thank you.
So would I. TBH. TBH.
Yeah, well, yeah, let's see. But how far are some of you guys from your teenage dream job? Does it make you sad when you think about it? Because, I mean, I'm going to say 90. If we say 1% of the 1%, that means there's probably 90% of people, when you think about that question, how far am I from my teenage dream job? They're going to say, I'm nowhere near it. I would say upwards of 90% of the people would say that. You think?
Do you know anyone who, like, literal, because me and Ryan, diba, medyo, I mean, kind of related, but someone who is really living their teenage dream?
I'm sure, because the reason why I say teenage, right, is because that's the time when you're going to start to decide what your course is in college. It's not the childhood dream, because childhood dream is the sky's the limit part that Ryan was talking about.
Astronaut.
When you're 17, you have to start filling out forms and saying, okay, this is the course I want because this is the career I want. This is the course I want because this is my dream job. And then, do you ever make it? Well, I think the only people that do are the ones who end up going to med school or any of those law school, like Dora is right now, going through law school, because they give you every opportunity to quit.
They do,
They do, because just the amount of time that you need to put in. Oh, you want to go to law school? Okay, hey, guess what? It's 6 years. Oh, you want to be a doctor? 10 years. Really? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, if I'm at year 7 and I'm like, this better be my dream job because I'm in year 7. I got 3 more to go. So I think those people are right there with their teenage dream job. But how many of those people exist? I would say, 10%, maybe less.
Yeah.
And then how do you, if you haven't, because that's me, how do you cope with, okay lang, it's fine, I didn't make it. I didn't make to what I wanted to be.
We can't compare it to you because, maybe this isn't what you envisioned yourself doing when you were a kid, but you are like crushing it in a completely different industry.
And maybe that's the answer, though, is with the how do you cope? You cope because, at least I made money doing something else.
That you also enjoy and love.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah. And not as much as you guys love it. But I'm not talking about, I'm talking about just everybody else. If you're listening and what do I tell myself if I didn't make the teenage dream job? What do I tell myself to be okay about it? It's probably because you're successful in whatever else.
In something else.
Yeah. That's true. And I think they cope with like the weekends. You know what I mean? Like they'll do a job they don't like for 5 days, and then just so that on the weekends they can come to Subic and then go on their yachts or whatever, and like
they probably don't have yachts, but
no, I mean like
by her elevator. What more?
Just for example, like people who really love boats. Like, di naman yacht. Okay, let's say they love sailing. That's their whole thing. But obviously you can't make that your job. So you just do the 9 to 5.
Sa Pilipinas? Dragon boat.
Yeah.
No, but it's reserved for the like super rich. But meron.
Like stuff like that. Just living for the weekend, I think. That's how people cope.
Is that okay? Is it okay if 5 days a week, 80% of your life you're spent doing something you don't like?
No.
So you can then be happy about the weekend?
That's why every night, this sounds so cheesy, but every night I really think, I know. I'm so grateful though that I get to do this. I am. Sige na, cheesy na, kadiri na, but I really am. I feel extremely blessed. But what if, kanina you were saying na, diba, ang daming, when you're kids, you always think lawyer, diba, doctor, pilot, whatever. So this new generation of children that are dreaming big dreams, how many of them are how many of them still want to do law, still want to do medicine, as compared to the ones who want to be streamers and influencers?
TikTokers.
As Asians, where, and I'm talking about us, people in the region, even kind of your Eastern Asian, we still, I think, very often are influenced by what our parents tell us to do.
Yeah.
Most of us are still within this is what I want for you. This is that's the kind of parent I'm going to be. If my child says, I want to do something that like a beautician? Is it?
Beautician.
I don't think people call it that anymore.
No, you're not. You're not going to do that. If you want to be a influencer, no, you're not. You're not going to be. And then they can do, well, Dad, you're scarce living. Nope.
But you're also one of those parents na you don't believe in limiting screen time, right? Because
I don't. Yeah.
Because it's
I think they learn a lot.
Yeah, it's a different.
Well, there's nothing to do with me.
And parang diba sabi mo, if they wanna be professional gamers, you know how much professional gamers earn.
No. That's different. If your child is so elite, okay, this goes back to Ryan. Okay, your dad's a basketball player and a rather successful one, right?
Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather successful.
Yeah.
And if you said, Dad, I wanted to be a basketball player, and your dad, who knows what it takes to be at the upper echelon of professional athletes in our country, if he looks at you and goes, can I just talk to you, hard truth? You don't have it. You're just not physically capable of being this. I've seen you play, and you're not it. Now, you can love the game, and you can play it with your friends, but I am not going to support a career, a dedication to something I know that you are more likely not going to be able to.
Yeah.
That's what I would tell my kids if they wanted to be a gamer. Like my son gets paid now, right, to make levels and stuff like that in video games. How much money did you make?
I didn't know.
Yeah, how much money did you make? I mean, in pesos, maybe like,
Amazing.
2.5. And I'm like, oh yeah, let me see. Ay, hindi, wala. 2.5. Hanggang 2.5 lang yan. I am realistic.
Yeah. I agree. But I think when you get to a certain age, you can kind of tell. Like, let's say with basketball, if by high school you're not in Team A, you're not UAAP, you're not going to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we, again, as Asians, we would tell our kids, stop it. Stop that.
Yeah.
Get out of that. Do something else. And maybe other cultures are like, whatever makes you happy, anak.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents were not supportive of the DJ route. They were not.
And how did you get out of them? How did you get out of their, stink eye?
I just stopped asking for money. I relied completely on my own money-making abilities. I was broke for the first 5 years of my career. And then eventually, it happened. But I also know that, I'm coming from a place of, privilege. Now, I knew I had a fallback. I knew if this thing fell through, I had the family business to do. I could still reach out to them if I was super gipit na talaga. But yeah, that's how I...
Yeah, and I think most parents don't want to have to cross that bridge. It's just wag na lang. Just don't do it. It's not worth the risk of not being successful.
Did you ever try, Ryan, to be a basketball player?
No. I mean,
get mo Milo best, ganon.
Oh, yeah. That's not really trying to be a basketball player. That's just playing basketball. So yeah, of course, I did the.
How old were you when you saw the look on your dad's face of disappointment that you're not going to follow in his footsteps? How old, do you recall already? Mga 4 years old, my dad's looking at me like, "Ay nako, hindi to magiging basketball."
I'm really lucky that I have a brother who's just a year younger than me, and he was the one who really followed through. Like he was actually really, really good. Like the reason he didn't become like a basketball player because he wanted to quit. Like the coach was asking him to play, and he was like, "No, I want to study." So thankfully, like my dad had that, and so I could just do whatever I wanted since he already had his like basketball person.
So can we say that he is your dad's favorite?
Yeah.
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Like Kobe and Gigi, ganon. Someone's
because when it comes to Ryan, no offense, right? It's all jokes, right? But like, apat. Do boys. Ako ng magaling sa basketball. Yung isa, Musician, pero hindi naman kumakanta.
DJ.
DJ, sabi ko, anong klaseng musician? Oh, you know, I'm the type who plays music.
Close enough.
And then your dad's like Spotify? the same level of talent you need to play Spotify. That's what I do.
Basically.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Kawawa naman tayo.
Yeah. You know, actually, I think he'd be more disappointed if I didn't like basketball at all. Like if we couldn't talk about the NBA or you know, like PBA. But since we have that, I think he's fine.
But isn't your interest in basketball medyo parang recent na lang?
Like playing it, like actually playing the sport recent. But then I've always watched.
You've always been a fan.
Yeah, I've always followed. Yeah.